Alright, let's really quickly talk about this before I go catch my plane, because I saw a lot of people complaining about specifically the fan service in this collaboration and what's going on with Atlus and Shift Up and who's to blame and XYZ. So let's talk, in my opinion, about the biggest problem with NIKKE fan service and who is really to blame before we go into that. As usual, hello the internet, hope we're having a good day. Alright. This comes from multiple tweets, not just one, but I'm going to be focusing on this tweet specifically by that nation. I usually don't like accounts like this because they don't play these games, so they don't really know what's going on. The problem is that a lot of NIKKE players will actually signal boost this and agree with this. So let's go really quickly over the tweet, and then I'll go over my opinion as to what's going on. The Persona X NIKKE collaboration is getting backlash from fans over the character designs. Some NIKKE players felt Atlus has censored and toned down the Persona characters compared to NIKKE's usual style. The tone down is a little bit of an understatement, honestly, right here. Fans expected the crossover characters to be adapted with the same level of fan service as NIKKE own characters, but the designs have left some players disappointed compared with the original games. What a pathetic joke. Why even bother doing collabs if you're just gonna give them the most flat ass out? So there are multiple things in here that I wanna be going over. The first one is this. Fans expected the crossover characters to be adapted with the same level of fan service as NIKKE own characters. What are we talking when we say that? Because there is only one collab with fan service. Every single collab in this game does not have fan service. Let's not go and pretend there is anything here good. The only good collab we got was Nier. Fantastic collab, by the way. Like, even to this day, it still holds up really well. Now, I know you're leaving right now a comment and saying, oh, there is a Stellar Blade. Yeah, it's their own IP. If this didn't have fan service, I would actually be tilted. It would be an insult to their own players, alright? Let's not count their own IP. Now, we go back into the same topic. Every single collab outside of Nier and SB has no fan service. So how can you expect that it's gonna be different with the new one? Like, how many times can you get tricked with the same thing and still blame someone else? Like, come on, boys. There is not a single good one here. And the worst part, to me, this one here. Some NIKKE players feel Atlus has censored and toned down the Persona characters compared to NIKKE's usual style. This is the one that bothers me the most. Because every single time Shift Up gets quote-unquote censored, it's never their fault. It's always someone else. Can we stop the cap? Look at Precone collaboration 2 years ago with ReZero. Why cannot we get more fan service on our own ReZero collab? Do please tell me, even considering that the newer seasons have buffed Emilia quite a bit on the anime in the asset department. Look at the own characters for the Persona gacha game and the PVs they do as well to announce them with the thumbnails and everything. And you tell me we cannot get a minimum of fan service compared to what we are getting. By the way, this is what we're getting once again. It's too funny, otherwise, I'm sorry. It's too funny. So once again, how can we keep blaming a different company before you go to the common denominator here? Alright? And you blame the company itself. It's not Atlus, it's not ReZero IP owners, it's not Chainsaw Man IP owners. It is fucking Shift Up. Every single time. And this has been happening since the time of Stellar Blade when it came out in PS5. And I remember everyone was blaming Sony for the toned down fan service and whatnot. And it's like, bitch, if you play NIKKE and you really think it's only Sony to blame, I'm not saying they're not in part to blame. But if you play NIKKE, where we never get good collabs and you are still blaming Sony, it's like, bro, every single time we get a new collab, oh, it must be the parent company. We get a collab with Resident Evil, oh, it must be the parent company. We get a collab with Evangelion, 2 of them, by the way, both of them flopped, none of them with fan service. Surely it was actually whoever owns Evangelion and not Shift Up doing these changes. Come on, boys. How many times can you get tricked with the same stupid thing before you actually blame this fucker and the company instead? And again, this is coming from someone who loves this game, as it can be seen, right? I have like 2,000 videos on this game, the whole website dedicated to it. I pull for every single character. I like this game. But I cannot understand why people do not blame the company itself and look somewhere else instead, when to me it's clear who is to blame. You can compare collaborations in NIKKE with any other game focused on fan service. And again, NIKKE is a Gunner game, like it or not. We can discuss a lot of things in here, but let's not pretend NIKKE is not a Gunner game, okay? At the end of the day. When it comes to other IPs similar, like Azur Lane, they collaborate with IPs they know their fans will like to give you good skins and fan service. When it comes to Brown Dash 2, they collaborate with IPs they know they can get away with fan service, even if the original one does not have as much, like when they did that one with Mushoku Tensei or whatever it's called, right? But then when you go into NIKKE, they never collaborate with IPs you know they have fan service. And even if they do have a little bit, NIKKE will tone it down. So it's like, okay, I think there's a clear pattern here, all right? And it is not Atlus and it is not the other companies that you should be complaining about. It's just shift up. The easiest way for this to stop, well, I don't think it's ever gonna stop happening, but it's actually by people not spending money during these collabs. If you don't like a collab and you feel the collab has no fan service, you should not spend money. Now, funny enough, if we are talking about like revenue-wise, most of the time there is a collab, NIKKE does drop down quite a bit. You can actually see like all of those low months usually are when we get the collabs. Now, this website, first of all, is if we were to trust the revenue, because it's not public, even though ShiftUp is, you can actually go and check the revenue reports. But to me, every single time they flop on the collabs, and I don't know why they keep doing them. I guess they do bring in enough new players, or like enough new wells that is worth to them. But again, every single collab we had, if you go and check feedback on Reddit, on Twitter, on just normal communities on YouTube, always the same drama, quote unquote, no fan service. So once again, and just to finish this video, there is only so many times you can blame someone else before you look at who is really to blame, all right? And it is not Atlus, it is ShiftUp. That's it, I'm out. I'm gonna go catch my plane. I'll see you guys in a few days for the pools for the new characters, for the Persona characters. I will be testing them and making my first impressions videos on them next week. Well, next week, in 3 days. You guys have a great evening. Love you all. See you on the next one.